Welcome to this 30-minute Pilates session to set you up for the day, or maybe help you to unwind at the end of the day, and more importantly, keep your practice going over the summer holidays when perhaps classes, my own included, are not running. So let's dive in. So starting with our feet hip width apart, lengthen up through your spine, draw up your toes, root down through the heel, the base of the little toe joints, and just pause for a moment to find your breath, taking that inhalation and exhalation, feeling the collarbones widen. You could close your eyes here and just start to go inside of the body a little bit and feel a bit of that connection with our proprioception. And spreading the fingers, the thumbs, reaching the fingertips to the floor, and just pause for a moment to take that breath in and exhale. You should take that exhalation, focusing on that drawing in of your deeper exhalation, focusing on that drawing in of your deep abdominal muscles. Breath in and exhaling. And noticing if there's any swaying through the posture. Try and keep stability through the spine, lengthening from tailbone to crown. One more time in. Setting yourself up for the morning, or maybe this is the midday or evening for you. Resetting, recalibrating. As you take your next breath in, keep your palms facing towards you as your arms come up. We're bracing those ribs. No need to force the range of movement, just go where you feel the movement occur a little bit more sharper in the shoulders without pushing through, and squeeze the shoulder blades back. Wrap, and taking that breath in, steadying the weight evenly through the feet, and exhale as we come down. Keep that length through the spine. In and exhaling as we send the arms back. One more time as you breathe in. This time as you exhale, bend the knees, send the hips back. Drop the gaze down to the floor and squeeze into the shoulder blades, and see if we can stay in this chair and take the thumbs out to the corners of the room. Inhale as we reach up, the arms coming up a bit higher, shoulders are in external rotation. And then as you pull the arms back like you're wading through water, exhale. Inhale as we lift back up, trying to get those arms by the temples. And then exhale as we squeeze back down, feeling those work happening in those thigh muscles. Stabilize your pelvis with those deep abdominal muscles. One more time as we come round. And then slowly bring the arms forwards and press into your heels as we take a breath in. And then soften your elbows, soften your knees, let your energy go. Lifting up and snapping back into a neutral spine. The head go, roll through, and nice one. This is just giving us a little bit of a breeze. If it's hot, it's hot here today, at last. Exhale. In. Notice how the balance is this morning, or maybe for you it's the evening. Root up and pick up your right leg. Inhale as we let it go. And over to our left. Oh, a bit of a wobble there. We embrace the wobbles. Exhale. In. Exhale. And in. And exhaling. Last one on the right. And last one coming up on the left. Oh, it's actually not that easy on carpet. And circle the arms out to the side. Let your shoulders soften down. Brilliant. Maybe feel that heart rate a little bit more. Coming back into alignment, so we're tucking the tailbone maybe slightly under, feeling the connection points. Bringing your right arm up level with the shoulder. Keep your hips to the front. Take the rotation to the right. Gazes over the shoulder, maybe to the little finger, and coming back through to center, bracing around the ribs. In as we lower. lifting up. Exhale, coming around to our left, coming back through to center, lengthening through the spine. Tip of the ears pointing to the ceiling. Try and get the exhalation on the rotation, coming back through and lower. And don't be too critical about whether or not you're moving with breath. The main emphasis is on keeping your pelvis still, moving the upper torso, stabilizing the lower back, and then bringing the arms down. Let's take both arms out, shoulder blades down, reach out through the arms. Again, a little brace of the ribs, preparatory breath in. Exhale, round to our right and oppose the movement here with the right hip and the left arm, so keeping them in place, and then back through to center, keeping that length, and over to our left. Neck is long, head tractioning back slightly, coming back through to center. Remember to press into the feet, and again, exhaling and coming back on through with our in-breath. Exhaling around to our left. No need to lock your knees out. And last time, over to the right. Maybe feeling that little bit taller. And coming back through to center. And last one, over to the left. This one always gets the shoulders warm. And all you want to do then is come round to the front and let the arms go and release them. So we're in a great position now for rolling down and loosening up the arms. Take the chin to the chest and starting to fold as we roll through into our curl. Your arms nice and loose, maybe the bend is in the knees. Taking a breath in and then exhaling as we come back out. Might be that you want to stay there for a couple of extra breaths, in which do so. Shoulders come up to the ears, roll them back and down, and align your spine. And chin to the chest again. And just letting everything decompress. Try not to grip your toes. And then slowly bringing yourself up bone by bone. Shoulders up to the ears. And back and down. We'll just try one more here. Of course, if you've got time, you can always do a few extra. And coming down. Energy into the heel, the base, the little toe. Crown to floor. And then rolling ourselves up. Think of stacking the spine, block by block. And then working our way back to standing. Hands come onto the hips, press the thumbs forwards, root down into your left heel, and without shifting through the pelvis, just picking up the right heel first. Think about the stability through the whole torso, and then seeing how we go, bringing up your leg. So just pause here to focus on the quality of your breathing. Your hips are forwards, and just finding that stable balance, those connection points with breath and core. One more breath in, feel length through your spine. And then bringing the leg down and see if we can pop it directly underneath the hip. So we're needing to plot where that point will be and take the foot under the hip, shift the weight to the right heel, right ball of foot, and then coming up with our left. See how we get on here, staying as stable as we can as we lift up. You can feel the shoulders dragging down the back, the neck long, and the head pressing back to the space immediately behind you. And again, pausing to focus on the inhalation to the sides, the back of the ribs, and that exhalation gathering a little bit more tension in your core, a lifting of the pelvic floor, drawing subtly from the navel towards the spine, a little bit lower than the navel actually. And one more breath in and out, and then fold, and then pressing the foot down. Don't be surprised if one side tells a different story to the other. And then we'll take the feet out With a little bit of distance between the knees, we bring the hands to the breastbone, roll the shoulders down, soften your knees. We're going to open up the shoulders and the hips a little more here. We're dropping down into the heels. Inhale as we lift up. This is a sequence called Brahma Dandasana, and it's the yoga sequence, so you may be familiar with this already. It really is so nourishing to do in the morning, in the evening. Don't feel you have to come down too low. You're taking a breath in here. Exhale, push through your heels, draw navel to spine. If your hands make it to the floor, then you can press in and feel that release and traction over the back. Inhale as you lower the hips back down and root to rise up, bringing your palms together and then dragging ourselves back to our starting position. There's a little tuck of that tailbone here, a little compression of those abdominal muscles to the spine, shoulders down. Inhale as we pull out and open. Hinge from the hips, so folding that body, midpoint, chin is tucked slightly. Come down as you press into the heels, upper arms pushing into the inner thighs. Inhale. Exhale, lean forwards. So hollowing out the belly. Drop the hips down and inhale as we lift all the way back up. And then coming back down, pressing out through those elbows and thumb to breastbone. Let's go for one more. Inhale as you lift out and open. And if you feel you want to do a few more and you've got the time, then by all means, add in some extra repetitions, hip pulls here and keep going. Come down, inhale. And exhale as you come forwards. And inhale as we lower and lifting all the way up. And then coming back down through to center. And then we're going to take it a little bit wider. And we're going to focus on taking those knees bent, press them to the corners of your room and feel the glutes lifting up. Again, look at that position of the tailbone. Hands come facing the body, squeeze the shoulder blades together like a reverse cactus. We're going to inhale as we squeeze the inner thighs as we lift the elbows up without locking your knees. Flip your hands, palms forwards, elbows in. Push the energy to the center of your room, pull your shoulder blades back. Lift the arms up as you press the arms to the back of the room, still squeeze the inner thighs. Press into the space around you, beside you, below you as you come down. Sink into your hips, right hand is up, left palm is down, crown falls to the floor. Keep active through the arms and lower your legs, keep them as they are and rise all the way up. Nice straight spine and open out this space. This is quite strong, hug the ribs. Lift out of that space and coming back through to center. Soft knees. Inhale. Exhale. Press forwards and bring the shoulders back as if you're pressing against a wall here and energetically pushing down. Push into the space, the corners of the room. And this time as we sink low, it's the left palm that is up this time and the right palm pushing down, and distance is maxed out between your elbows. Let your head drop. Rise up, strong arms, pushing your elbows out in the same direction as your knees. Smile, feel the burn, and then release and coming all the way out. So again, you can do a couple more of those, but I'm going to go for 2 today, and then you can take a little jump together or you can step it in. So from here, we're going to come down to the mat, starting with a roll down. So you're at the front of your mat. We're going to take the tailbone, tuck it under, take the breath in, rooting into your heels, in as we lift. Exhale as you fold from the hips again, maybe a bend through the knees. Let the head go. Softening both knees, stepping back with your left leg, shift the right knee forwards and then bring your left knee down to the floor, release the toes. Keeping the hips open. Strengthen up through that right heel, lift the arms all the way up, palms together. Take a twist and coming over to the right side. This is not aggressive, it's very tame. Inhale as you lift the arms up and exhale as we come across And just take a mild twist, drawing the pony line back behind you. Last one, in. Just sinking the hips a bit further if you can. Exhale. So you're not dumping your torso down on your thigh. Inhale as we lift. Circle out to the side, come down slowly, feeling that strength in that front foot into that right hip. Tuck back toe, kick into the left heel, root the hands down. Maybe the hips come a bit higher to slide your leg back. From here, the abdominals are going to draw up those hips towards the ceiling. And we're just going to open out that space. We can wrap the scapula or the shoulder blades around and let the head relax. Maybe take a little pedal here. So stepping through can be a little bit of a challenge. Where today we're going to just walk the feet up towards the hands. Go to the fingertips as you get closer in. Stepping in between that space, feet hip width apart. Bend the knees and root to rise up again as we take that breath in. Pulling the shoulder blades down and then sweeping out to the side as we fold and fold. Chin is into the chest, bending the knees. This time the right leg comes back. Shifting the left knee forward so the knee is directly over your ankle, bringing the knee down to the floor, release the toe. Firm up the front foot, inhale as we lift. Hands together, shoulders down, and take a non-aggressive rotation over to our left side. Inhale as we lift up. So you're not forcing this, we're working with our natural range of movement and exhaling, stabilizing around the pelvis. I'm not even thinking about getting the elbow over the thigh, it's staying pretty much just on top of that thigh. Exhaling as we come round, just drawing that ponytail line back slightly. Inhale as we lift up. And then as we come forwards, root down slowly. This is where you get the burn in your front hip. Hands to the floor, tuck your toe under, lift and kick into the right heel. A little bit more space to send the front leg back and tuck your tailbone. From here, keeping the pelvis connected in a neutral position. Bring your knees down to the floor, spreading the toes as you drop your knees and press out, exhaling. Inhale as we come down with the knees. Exhale, try and keep your hips in space, nice and still. Look after your neck, make sure the chin hasn't dropped down to the chest. Exhale, shoulders are gently nudging down the back. One more time, in. And exhaling, kick out through your heels. And taking the knees down to the floor, work against your body weight, all you need. Release the toes and sit yourself back. And just pausing here, noticing your breath, the energy shifting through your body. And then going on to the fingertips and raising up your elbows from the floor, a little drawing of the shoulder blades. And release. From here we're rising up onto the hands and the knees and assuming a box position. So coming into a nice box alignment, knees underneath the hips, hip width and shoulders over the wrists. Spread the fingers and focusing on squeezing and round your left glute, just giving us a little bit of a support as you engage the left glute, ready to send the right leg and the left arm out. We're just going to hold this for 3 breaths. In and exhale. So you're subtly drawing your left shoulder blade down. Inhale. Exhale. Really lengthening through that right heel, toes to the floor. Last breath in. Exhaling, bring the hand and the knee down at the same time, watching we don't move through the torso. The aim is stability. And then to the other side as we stretch out. And focusing on that length and equally the quality of the opposing movement as well. So that right shoulder is just gently settling down the back. So you're not going into elevation. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling the abdominals, those deep core muscles drawing towards the spine.
pressing through your left hand. And one more breath in, nice and still. Maybe straighten out the arm a bit more if we get a bit slack in the elbow. And then the hand and the knee comes down. And then we're going to come forwards into a prone position. So you can use the knees to get down here. Lengthen the legs away. And so put a little bit of pressure with the top of the feet in the mat to pin the length of those legs. And take a diamond shape with the arms. So you feel the scapula sliding down the back, the tailbone is tucked, and the chin is nipped in slightly. We're going to take a breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to just draw up from the floor without throwing the head back. Pause at the top to fill up the lungs while keeping the core engaged, and exhaling as we come back down. Just try to avoid collapsing the ribs on the floor as you lower. And again, we're exhaling as we lift. And we're retaining the connection in the core. Allow the expansion of the ribs as you inhale. And exhale as we come back down. Noticing that the pressure on the top of the feet to the floor is there still to keep the length through the legs, the quads active, your kneecaps are raised, but no pressure in those knees. So this time we're lifting as we exhale. We're going to pause and take our breath in. And as we exhale, we're either going to lift single arms, or you may want to lift both arms without changing the height that we have sustained with the spine. So fixing that height, a lift each side, or it's two lifts together and then return. Making sure the shoulders stay away from our ears. Legs still long. Exhale, lift up. Inhale. And I'm going to go with both arms here, just showing you that I'm not losing the length of the spine. So I'm working quite hard to maintain spinal integrity here and position. One more time. You could be doing single arms, modify it. The arms could come up a bit higher if you feel a bit stronger. And then settling the shoulders down as we drive back down. We're going to do one more. Shoulders drive down the back. Feel as if we're getting that length through the crown, slight diagonal alignment as you lift, but no throwing the head back. We don't want this sort of dead rose effect in the neck. So gaze stays forwards. Inhaling. Single arms or double. I'm going for the single. And you can keep the forearm resting lightly on the floor as you land it and take the other arm off. So just increasing the intensity without changing to double arms. And then release. Well done. Take the hands under the shoulders, elbows into waist. Use that upper body strength to come back. Take your knees to the side of your mat, toes together, and sink down into this space. It should feel quite nice to relax here. Extend your left arm a little further overhead and bring your right arm down, thread it underneath and gaze over to your left. Coming onto the fingertips and reaching out as you press forwards. You can send the hips back and take those breaths in to those tight spots. And release, bringing the hand back and just coming over, right arm up, thread underneath, let the forearm, back of the hand, settle to the floor and coming to fingertips and just lifting up that scapula and pressing forwards. Feel the weight of the head resting on your mat or floor. And releasing. Bringing yourself back through to center. Roll yourself up nice and slowly. Shoulders back and down. That feels good, doesn't it? Just to bring the spine back after all the forward flexing and slumping over a desk or in the garden, or maybe it's just driving.
Okay, so we're on the back here now, and we're going to tuck the feet up towards the hips. The hands are down by your side, and we're going to start neutrally aligned. So we have the hip bones and the pubic bone level, and I always find it best to arrange the pelvis in neutral from an arched back. So we can just come back a little reverse and a flatten. Taking a breath in, and then as you tuck under with a bit of resistance to bring those hips towards the ribs, rooting into the feet, and you're driving your knees forwards. You may not come up straight to the shoulders, so just go cautiously if you've got any issues in the back. You don't want your hamstrings to fire really quickly. And then coming down, lengthening away, each vertebra landing as best as we can individually back to the floor, and then releasing those hips away from the ribs, so teasing this point apart with resistance, settling back into that neutral space, scooping under, lifting up. Now you could stay here and just taking it to the roll up and the roll down, and that may be all you want for this session, a little mobility rather than the strength and stability. So stick with the previous, and you could stay there, or you could come up and hold, and we may or may not use the arms. As we root into the right foot, we're going to take a figure 4. The left foot is flexed, and we're activating this right side, so actively working to stay strong in our bridge. Let your left knee fall away. 3 breaths here, and if you're not sure what's happening with the hips, you can just guide them with your hands. And again, we're getting a lot of strength coming into this posterior chain, back of our right leg, zipping in around, and then release. Take the leg, uncross, option to roll down and then come back up. Or we go to the other side, root into the heel, base the big, the little toe, flexed right foot, pressing into that space, and again, letting the right knee fall out without dropping the right hip down. So it's about alignment, and it's about working with body and breath. So make sure you're not holding your breath. Easy to do. You might want to use the arms and squeeze the shoulder blades down to the floor. So be a little bit curious in your exercising. Listen to your body. It's your best teacher. And then slowly release. We place the foot down. We might lift the hips, a little reset at the top. And then bring your arms all the way overhead, where we'll splay them out a little bit wider, maybe the corners of your mat. Palms facing the ceiling and elbows soft. So we bring the spine down, getting a lovely stretch through that thoracic spine, working down into the lower back. Oh, I can feel that's worked. And then coming all the way down, landing softly and controlled. And then from here, pulling the arms down slowly, feeling that connection with the core as those deep abdominal muscles compress to the spine, returning the arms down. Let's draw the knees into the chest, making some circles in the ceiling, going round in one direction, couple of reps round. And then changing. Lovely. And then coming back through to center. You might want to bring your head up from the floor and just hug yourself in a little tighter. And release. And just taking the right leg over your left. Perhaps center the left foot in line with the pubic bone. Right hand is out to the side. Roll onto your left hip as the gaze falls over to the right. Little guidance down with our left hand. Let's release in that lower back. And just try and breathe into any tight spots. Ideally, we want this right shoulder blade to be resting towards and on the floor. Maybe lower the arm. Or you could rest your arm on a cushion if your shoulders are really tight on that right side. And use that core to come back through to center. And uncross. Let's do the left over the right. I take the foot quite in quite close. And then the left arm is out and rolling over to the right hip. I find the floor first with my left foot. It gives me the confidence to continue to roll. Just gazing down across the body towards the hand. And don't be surprised sometimes if there's any clicks with this. It can happen in the spine sometimes, not always, but it shouldn't surprise you. It's just leaning into that stretch. Just enjoying that stretch, taking that breath in, and exhaling. And then slowly, with that core engaged, coming back around to center and uncross. And then slowly, rolling over onto your side. Picking ourselves up, sitting ourselves back on our mat, and we're nearly done. Take the soles of the feet together and taking some length through the spine. I've got my microphone under the top. If you're wondering if I've got anything shoved down the top, it's the mic, so hopefully you've heard me clearly enough. So again, lengthening up, and we're aiming to keep the spine pretty straight with this. So we don't want to go slumping and slumbering down in the lumbar. Let your shoulders relax and jawline and just ease forwards. We're looking for mild tension. We don't want pain here. So we're bringing things down. We've shifted some energy through the body. We've woken up the core, the front body, back body. And then slowly move your way back. Passively bring your knees in. And then lifting up your hips from the floor. Lift up your heels and send your bottom up to the heels. Drive your knees forwards, and you can come onto fingertips here and have a little toe stretch as well as a chest stretch as well as a thigh stretch. So this is a good all-rounder. And then maybe keeping with the fingertips on the floor, walking your way around to the front, tilting forwards, heels down into a forward fold. Take hold of your elbows, let your head relax. This feels nice. You might want to take a little sway here from side to side, a little shifting. Even playing with the energy through the feet, rolling forwards and backwards, that can feel nice. You feel that little support down in the core here. A little sway, a little play with the connection points of the feet. And then releasing the arms. And then just turn your toes out, heels are in. Drop the hips down halfway. Inhale as we lift all the way up. And then as we exhale, you might want to take a wider stride if your hips feel a little bit more open. Press down into your heels, squeeze the inner thighs to come up. You could relax the head and then rebuild the neck last. That gives you a bit of the wobbles as you come up. Good. Hope you're feeling good after this. And release. Well done. Enjoy the rest of your day, maybe your evening. You've shaken out some energy and you've kept your practice in. Well done. See you again soon. Take care.